take your hands off him. That's better. I've been watching you during this reception. Your attraction to Duncan is blatantly obvious. The other man you brought with you as a cover, notwithstanding.
You have it wrong. Jessica is...
I know you very well. From discreet inquiries, I've discovered that you're a career woman. A successful solicitor, they say. On a local level, of course. But you and I know that career women are the most carnivorous of females, demanding equality with the male, yet using sex shamelessly to get what they want.
It is true that I am Duncan's attorney, but I am also his friend, and a better friend since he confided in me about you, Lilith.
You've no right to confront Jessica this way.
I have every right, Duncan McKechnie, as you well know. Or have you so easily forgotten that I am your wife?
You know, Andy, Paul, and I were very worried because you left the castle so quickly without saying a word to anyone.
Oh, I'm sorry, Leanne. It just all became a little too much for me. You know, all the memories, you know. Well, I didn't want to ruin the day for the rest of you, so I just thought it would be best to leave.
We were thinking of taking you girls out for the best pizza in town. What do you say? Maybe we'll get it brought back here? What do you say?
Well, that sounds pretty great, but I told Tom that I would take care of Leanne while he was away, and with all due respect to the cast-iron stomachs of youth, I don't think that takeout pizza is what I would call looking after her. No, I don't have a cast-iron stomach, and so I'll make something special. Besides, tonight should be a celebration dinner for Leanne, who is starting her senior year in high school tomorrow. So I will make something worthy of the occasion. You know, you make your father so proud. Can you get that?
That she did. Made me very proud, too.
Well, I have you to thank for that. Oh, thank you. You know, I wouldn't be going to school tomorrow if it weren't for you. And in fact, the teacher who gave me the exam, she asked me who had been tutoring me, and I told her it was you and Andy.
Ooh, hello, hello. Oh, I'm telling you, getting off that island was a real mess, and we lost poor Isabella in the shuffle. Oh. Shannon, you did something you left. You didn't even say goodbye or anything.
Well, I told Leanne it was because of just all the memories and all that, but I can tell you, Lisa, Duncan just turned on me. He said some awful things to me I will never forget.
Why, Shannon, look, honey, has anyone heard any word from Tom and his search for Margo?
No. Gosh, it's almost 2 o'clock there. I suppose he just hasn't found her.
Come a long way. The least you could do is say hello.
How did you find me?
Well, it wasn't easy, if that makes you feel any better.
No, it doesn't.
I followed Pappas to your room, and I found the note that you had written to Craig, and I found a map with the name Lydia on it, and then I scoured the waterfront in Akros until I found a boatman who recognized your photograph, and he brought me here to this house, to you.
I wish you hadn't. This is Mrs. Lokitas and her daughter Irene. This is Tom Hughes, my husband.
Tora inikalitiri oranasio andrastisafu, please priority.
My mother say it's good time for husband to be here if Margo is being close to hour to time.
What does she mean, close to time?
The Emmy Award-winning As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by Love's Deluxe, with the Night Guard system and truly tear-proof taping. And by Duncan Hines' family of baking mix products. They're so irresistible, you'll see why you can't help yourself.
Shannon, I just do not understand Tom not getting in touch with someone to let us know that he arrived in Acro safely.
I don't either. But then again, on the other hand, if he did see Margo and he's finally facing her, they could talk for days on end.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm about to make dinner for our merry band. Do you think you could stay for a while and keep morale up? I'm fresh out of high spirits.
I've got plenty of high spirits.
Great. Oh, yes. Have you heard from Uncle Earl?
No. No, and I'm so worried, Shannon. It's been 4 days since I've heard. That's not like him. I know.
I want to just let you know that you did a fabulous job at the commentary for the show.
Oh, I agree. The show was fantastic. I mean, I didn't fall asleep at all.
Oh, you didn't. I love all the praise. And I admit that I did enjoy being in the spotlight. Though I have to say, I think Barbara should have been here and received all this praise for her fantastic line of clothes.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm sure.
Ping pong?
Yeah,
I'll watch you guys.
I wish I could be there.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Duncan and his staff were about to self-destruct with all the tension about all the outsiders being on the island.
Oh, yes, and do you know that Tobias and Teresa and Duncan all stood over me all during the reception, peering over my shoulder, and they kept asking me, how long is this thing going to last? Huh? When is it going to be over?
What was really strange, though, is that Jessica even seemed uncomfortable. And that's just so bizarre because she's usually so cool and in control of things.
Sure.
5 will get you 10. Something else was going on out there besides that fashion show, and Duncan was trying very, very hard to hide it.
Yeah.
But enough about McCackney. Let the man be hoist on his own petard.
Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? I've never known what is a petard.
I don't know, but it sounds like it would hurt.
Ooh, fun.
Everyone in this room knows that you are Lilith McKechnie, my wife of nearly 12 years.
Interesting that you should tell this one, even if she is your solicitor. You've certainly kept it a well-guarded secret from everyone else all these years.
I thought it was important that Jessica know. She handles all of my legal affairs.
And your other affairs? Don't believe everything Duncan says. He can twist and turn the truth like a corkscrew when it's to his advantage.
I believe all that Duncan's told me so far. I can see no advantage for him in lying to me.
When you've known the McKechnie as long as I have, you will discover that he is not to be trusted. Ah, Sister Teresa, I was not the least bit surprised to see you here today. But you, Tobias, I must admit I am surprised to see you here.
As I was equally surprised to see you.
I'm certain you were, dear Tobias. It all worked out so perfectly. I was seeing a doctor at the local hospital about a minor problem and wondering how I might get through the guards and into the castle, when young Mr. Elliot simply asked me to model for him here today. My problems were solved, just as you always tried to solve them for me, my dear Tobias.
I think you're looking better than I've ever seen you.
Of course I am, you fool. I've lost the pallor from all those years I spent in that hideous prison in Portugal.
Oh, Dr. Sylvestris would be very sad to hear you call it a prison. He did everything in his power to make it a home for you, so you could have the help you needed.
No, I never needed that kind of help. You were all wrong to listen to Duncan. I only needed to be with my husband. But he had so many other women in his life. One could never be enough for him.
Now, that's an extremely unfair judgment of Duncan. He's done nothing to deserve it.
Oh, Sister Teresa. You know this? I'm a far better judge of Duncan's appetite for women than you. Unless, of course, you've become more in this house than nurse and servant.
No. No, that's what I am. But I am that proudly. And like Tobias, I want only to help you, Lilith.
I don't need your help. I told Sylvestris for the last year that I was ready to take charge of my life again, but he wouldn't listen. Well, I'm out in the world now, and I'm loving it. I know you trusted Sylvestris and paid him a fortune to treat me. But he never wanted me to be well, to leave him.
Why would you say that about a man who dedicated nearly 12 years of his life to taking care of you?
Oh, he took care of me all right. He took very good care of me. He was in love with me, Duncan. And the irony of it used to amuse me. You were paying the bills, and he was making love to me every night. That's why he pretended that I still needed his help, because he couldn't bear to let me go.
All right, that's enough. I won't have you denigrate the integrity of a man who's not even cold in his grave.
Grave? He died?
We thought you surely knew. Sylvestris was found dead in a cave in the hills, not far from the sanitarium.
No. No. No, you lie. You lie to hurt me.
We leave, your husband. Oh, you wish, more milk?
No, thank
yes?
you. No, I'll be fine until morning. Rest well.
It's very hard to see you like this. I mean, we've all been afraid that you left because you were ill, and it's hard to see you ill.
No, I'm not ill, Tom. I promise. I think you should go home, though. I think you should go home and give this up. You want answers that I can't give you, and please understand.
No, I can't. I can't understand. I went into your room, and I got some answers, but they just confused me even more because I see a picture of myself on your bed, and then on the nightstand I see pictures of your family and everyone that you love.
Remind me of the people that I love.
What for? To torture yourself some more? I mean, if you loved us, why did you leave us? You know, for all these months I've said to myself, you know, when I see her face to face, I'm gonna be able to get rid of all this anger and all the bitterness that I feel. And then I look at you, and I realize that inside in my soul, I never stopped loving you.
Please, Tom. Please, this is just killing me. Will you please leave? Please leave.
No, I can't leave. Because when you look at me, I can see that you still love me. Just say it. Say it out loud.
I still love you. I still love you. But it's not enough. Oh, God, please understand. It's not
It is enough. We've proven it over and over again. We belong together. Just say it. Say it out loud.
We belong together. We belong together. Oh, my God.
The message Margo left for me in my hotel said to come back here right away.
I believe you, but she's gone.
Gone where? She alone? She was her husband what?
Alone.
All right, the message said that her husband was in Akros and that she was afraid that he was coming here.
You Americans crazy. It's a happy thing for a woman with child to have her husband.
Flora, I know that you're confused, and I'm confused too. I gotta find her right away. Now, did Tom Hughes come here?
Yes, I left him here in this room.
Why?
Well, he her husband. He stay little time. He run out. He say nothing.
Message somewhere's got it.
Mr. Montgomery, have you seen your sister since she left?
No. I left for my hotel a few hours ago to get some rest. Then she left me a message. I came back here right away, but she was gone. There's no note, there's nothing.
It's too bad. Tom Hughes came to my office several hours ago. He was trying to find her address. When I refused to give it to him, he used my phone to call her to try to trick her by saying he knew where she was and he was on his way here. I came here to talk to her. That's when I discovered he had followed me here.
We have to find her quickly. She's in no condition to be running around like this.
I know she took small bags she packed for hospital. Perhaps that is where she went.
I checked the hospital. She is not there.
Well, then where did she go alone in the middle of the night? There's got to be a message.
There is one. I think he probably found it.
You're right. Home. I'll call home. Maybe Margo's called there. Don't let Mama know that anything's wrong. God, I guess they'll help us.
Caleb and I thought we were going to have supper alone. I'm so glad you two are here.
On my one night home, Mama, I can't think of any place that I would rather be.
Oh, good.
Hey, Caleb. Lily and I, we took a walk around the farm. Everything looks great.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it.
Your next paycheck will show my appreciation.
That's not necessary, Holden. We agreed on money.
Hey, Caleb, never turn down generosity.
You sound like my mother. Okay, Holden. I guess you can afford it since your partnership with Craig's doing so well. He can afford to go to Europe on vacation.
That's right. Everything is going pretty well for us.
Yeah, and Holden thinks that hopefully by Christmas, if everything goes the way it's been going, that Craig will be able to buy his old company back.
Hello, family.
Hey,
Maggie.
Hi, Margo. Sorry that you had to hear that. I know that's something else for you, Antonio.
It's okay, Lily. Actually, I think it'll be good for Antonio. Have a business with his name on it as opposed to Craig's.
I wasn't expecting you out here tonight.
Thank you. Well, I was sitting around the penthouse waiting for Antonio to come home because he's meeting a client, and I got lonely and bored, so I decided to come out here. Welcome. It's awfully nice to see you home.
Well, thank you. You are looking prettier than ever.
Oh, you're such a liar. I'm really starting to show now.
Where?
Oh, you know, when I got out of the shower, there I was, standing in front of a full-length mirror. It scared me half to death. I put a towel over them.
What, the mirror or your belly?
That's good.
You just put the towel in that mirror and concentrate on being healthy.
Well, I saw Dr. Samuels today, and she told me I'm in tip-top condition.
For the condition you're in?
Oh, you are just... What is this? I haven't seen you this giddy since you had chickenpox. Anybody tell you what a terrific party you missed?
Now, I've already been properly chastised for that, Maggie.
What?
But Lily and I, we talked about it, and everything is just fine.
See the diamonds?
Oh, beautiful diamonds. My favorite gems. Way to go, Holden.
They're beautiful, really exquisite.
Diamond mamas. You know, I wasn't hungry when I came out here, but smelling this cooking has made me ravenous.
Enjoying it.
Oh, no problem. I'll set another place.
Well, I'll set two more. We're here for dinner.
Hi, everybody.
Listen, Arda, did you hear anything else from the detectives about the Carpenters?
Well, they've got a lead, and they're going to go back east to check it out. I know they were back from back east somewhere. I just don't remember where.
I'll tell you, this team that works for Ambrose is the best in the business. If anybody can locate your parents, they can.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what if they turn out to be criminals or murderers or
Nay. Really? Say, we're nice people.
I can't wait until you find your real parents. I really want to meet them. I want to know everything there is to know about my real family.
What's the cat? Oh! Ben said I'd find you here. By golly, here you are.
Well, where in the world did you drop in from? I didn't expect to see you to at least tomorrow.
Well, I just finished up my job early, and I hate California, as you know, and so I jumped in my jet. That's what private planes are for.
It's good to see you again, Lucinda.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, you're looking healthier than ever.
It's the new shirt.
He's practically running the farm by himself these days.
Oh, well, whatever you're doing, it certainly agrees with you.
Holden, I thought you were going to develop all your efforts to work on the farm this summer.
No, at the moment, Craig and I are learning about the furniture business from our new clients, Lang Furniture.
Oh, yes, I know Lang Furniture. I know about it. Kirk, they were going to come to Walsh Enterprises, but I guess they were too small. That's what it was.
They're not too small for us.
I dare say.
Meg! Hello, Lucinda.
darling, you're showing.
Yes, yes, and I've never been happier.
Good, I'm glad.
Cindy, would you care to join us?
No, thank you so much.
I just want to steal you away, Pussycat. I'll steal you away. Let's have dinner together.
This is Holden's only night here, so we were going to spend it together.
So, you'll join us, yes?
I'd love to.
Good. I'll send him to the place. Let me get here.
Well, I'm going upstairs to wash up. You?
No, I'm clean.
Clean.
Glad to have you back.
Well, I'm glad to be back. Good thing for you that I am back. I should fire you for that week's disappearance.
Well, then I wouldn't be here to help you prevent Lillian Holden from eloping now, would I?
I don't know what a woman's supposed to do. I don't know what a woman is supposed to do that she hasn't done.
Well, I have a few ideas I'd be happy to share with you when we get a moment.
I had no idea that Sylvestris' death would be such a shock.
Of course it's a shock. In spite of his sexual advances and his endless marriage proposals, I was closer to him than to anyone else these last 12 years. He was doctor, lover, and friend. I can't imagine the sanitarium without him.
I talked to Megan. She said they're closing it.
Poor Megan must be devastated. She was in love with him herself. That's why she hated me. That's why she kept saying I was ready to be released, to get rid of me.
This much is true. Megan repeatedly said that Lilith was ready to be released.
But Sylvestris never wanted me released. He said he would sign the release papers and call you to approve only if I would agree to marry him.
I thought he knew she was legally married to you.
Of course he knew.
He knew. He said that you would divorce me, in spite of all the letters that you wrote, insisting that you would never divorce me until I could return to Scotland and be your wife and give you an heir.
All that is true as well.
So imagine my surprise when Sylvestris told me that you already had an heir, Beatrice, who was not your sister, but your daughter.
Did Sylvestris also tell you that I never married Beatrice's mother?
Ah, yes. He told me that you were far too honorable to ever commit bigamy. Also that you had seduced Beatrice's mother in Ireland years before you met me on that safari in Africa.
Would you like to come upstairs with me and freshen up, redo your makeup? You like to look your best.
You're right. Especially on this night of reunion with my darling husband. I want Teresa to take me. We were close in Portugal when she was there to look after me for Duncan.
Yes, well, I would enjoy a private moment, Lilith.
I don't want Teresa left alone with her.
I'll wait in the hall, out of sight.
Tobias, in your professional opinion, what's her condition?
As dangerous as ever, but in some ways much better than ever. She has survived all these months on her own.
May I have one of those?
Aye.
Duncan, I'm confused. From what you told me, I expected a half-wild creature out of a cage, but this lady, high-strung and jealous of any woman close to you as she is, seems more like spoiled, rotten rich, used to having her own way.
That's exactly why she's so deadly. She's like a chameleon. She's able to change personality at will.
I believe you. I believe you because of what you told me on that night we had our first conversation about her.
Aye, but she's also very self-destructive, approaching complete death wish. Sylvestris told me a long time ago that if I ever tried to divorce her, she would certainly try and find a way to kill herself. So I never let myself fall in love. I never even let myself think about having a relationship that could possibly be permanent. Until that night, 10 years ago, when I saw beautiful Shannon at a cocktail party. I eloped with her that night. But back at my villa in France, I looked down at her offered innocence and realized the pain I would cause her with my bigamous act. So I Left without consummating the marriage, and here it is 10 years later, and I push her away again for wanting to marry me. It's the single most difficult thing I have ever done. Now, listen, Jessica, why don't you go home to Roy? I know he was upset that you stayed.
It doesn't matter. I'll stay here as long as you need me.
That's not necessary. Teresa is a skilled psychiatric nurse. Tobias is Sylvestris' assistant. Jessica, don't move.
This isn't how I wanted you to find out.
Don't be crazy. We've always wanted a child. Come on.
No, you don't understand, Tom. You see, oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. The baby's coming. I can feel it.
Forty di pizzetta. Hold it. Si può là, baby. Mother tells she bring many baby in this world. It's good. It's a natural thing the baby comes.
I'll try to remember.
Push.
I'm here.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Tide. On some of your toughest laundry problems, Tide won't quit till your clothes come clean. And by Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Just don't say anything until we get all the facts, all right? Happy that you picked up the phone, not her, Casey. Yeah, if Margo should call, then just get a location, contact the Akros police. They'll get in touch with me. Yeah, I don't know how Tom found out that she was an Akros case. Yeah, there is. You can call John. Get in touch with him pronto. He's in Rome with Dusty. Tell him to get to Akros immediately. I think Margo's going to need some family, all the support she can get. All right. Send my love to Bryant, okay? And Mama, too. All right, bye-bye.
Mr. Montgomery, I have been thinking of an idea.
Well, good, because I haven't got a clue what to do next.
We have boatmen working for us on call 24 hours a day. Now, there was one waiting to take you to Livia in the morning. Margo knew this. Perhaps she thought her husband would not be able to find her there.
It's the best idea I've heard of yet. As a matter of fact, it's the only one we've got. Let's try it.
If Margo comes back here or calls, tell her to call my office, yes? Also say I'm going with her brother to try to find her before Tom Hughes does. Yes, I can leave a message for Barbara Ryan, please.
What do you think about school, I bet?
Right.
No. Actually, I was thinking about my father. And what he's going to have to deal with if he finds Margo after all this time.
You know what I think? I think there's a strong bond between them, and that whatever happens, they're going to come through it together.
I'm a little worried, guys. Hal called me from the station and said that he hasn't gotten in touch with my mom. And I'm sure that she said she'd be back by now.
Voilà, mesdames et messieurs. Hamburger au grill and poke de frites, please.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Wait, said no pizza, but burger and fries are okay?
That's because it's Leanne's favorite, and tonight is her big night.
Is it really?
And as we used to say in Mrs. O'Leary's finishing school, shout out!
Well, what are you guys going to eat? This is going to be all for me.
For all of it. Oh, this looks great. You know, I wish Tom would call, though, even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know, it's really depressing. It's depressing because, I mean, like my night hearing from Earl. I wish our people would get in touch with us.
Yes, I do too.
No news is not necessarily good news.
I agree. I'm still pretty worried that nobody's gotten in touch with my mom. I mean, those flowers that she got and the card that was with them, and the wreath that she found hanging on her door.
Oh, no, wait just a minute. You know, I think that cop in New York was right when he said that he feels that Lucy and old Kirk the Jerk are behind all of it.
Well, then, really, your cooking, Emma, it's just incredible. There's no
I'm gonna get
compare.
some more.
Certainly not room service in 6 different fancy hotels.
Jane said she was having a little trouble keeping up with you. Said you were even threatening to buy a hotel.
Well, I put a bid on one. 600 rooms, then. In Beverly Hills. It was, the fountain and the palm.
Wait a minute. You're kidding,
Pines,
aren't you?
you know how it is, L.A.
Are you serious?
Oh, here you go.
What's the matter with you? I never joke about money going. My daughter is in hotel and restaurant management. Now, what better way for her to learn the ropes than with her own place?
You're buying me a hotel?
Darling, why do you look so incredulous? What's the matter with you, anyway? You're always telling me to diversify. This way, Lily can go out west for the summer. She won't have to work in a hole in the ground in Oakdale.
Wait a second. I like my job at the cellar. And I'll have you know that Lisa has offered to let me have my job part-time when I go back to school next week.
Oh. Well, Holden, you're just full of chatter. How are things in the big city?
Don't you mean for a farm boy like me, Lucinda? Oh, everything's just fine. Thank you. By the way, Craig saw Barbara's fashion show in New York and said it was a smash. And as far as Chicago, I'm learning a lot. I just hate being away from Lily.
I think I need to stretch my legs. Would you excuse me, darling? I just want to have a word with Kirk about some business things. Things at the office.
You better talk to Iva about Kirk, because Kirk is with Iva.
Oh, no, go ahead. I know you two want to talk business. We have to do dishes anyway.
Let's get some air.
Fresh air.
Does she ever see me as anything besides just a stable boy? I'm telling you, Henry Lang respects me. Why can't she?
Can you just drop it, please? I don't want anything or anyone to ruin our evening together, okay?
Yeah, sure. Hello? Oh, yeah, hold on a second. Iva, it's Ambrose. He said he's heard something about Jared Carpenter. Oh. Hello, Ambrose?
Good to have you back. Even though we've worked very closely together, had no idea how much I'd miss having you around.
Yeah? Good. I like to be missed. Now, where did you disappear to? And why did you disappear when you did?
I had a pressing, private, and personal emergency. I told you that.
Yeah, that's it? That's all you're going to tell me? Private and personal?
That's what the phrase means. It's private, and it's personal. Would you prefer none of your business?
Profits are up. You've done a good job while I was away.
True. Well, you see the stack of memos on your desk.
I have seen my desk. I went to the office first.
I might have known that would have been your first stop.
Mm-hmm. Might have been different if John were home. It's kind of lonely, you know, to come back. Something special and have no one special waiting for one.
Yeah, I've learned that that's important for me, too. Amazing.
Yeah, Ivan, it makes you laugh.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the detectives have located Jared Carpenter.
Isn't that wonderful?
I swear, when I heard your screams for help, Teresa, I feared the worst.
I know. When I discovered that I was locked in the upstairs bathroom and that Lilith was gone, well, I expected something terrible, too. I'm sorry my scream alarmed you so, Tobias.
Look at Lilith. Hard to believe she's anything but a strikingly beautiful woman, engaged in small talk with someone she just met.
It touches me somehow. I don't want to interrupt them.
How did she get down here so quickly?
Oh, the passageways. I'm sure she learned to use it during the fashion show.
Yes, perhaps she knows more about the passageways than we think.
Yes, the Portuguese lace handkerchief we found a few weeks ago.
Which would suggest that she's been in Oakdale longer than we thought.
I'd love to believe that she's been here the entire time. It would mean that she didn't kill Sylvestris.
Did you know that Sylvestris thought Lilith's case history so unique that he worked for over a year on a book about her, that he was certain would earn him a worldwide reputation in psychiatry?
No, I had no idea. But that might be another reason why he might want to keep her there.
Duncan, be careful. I'm seeing signs that you're beginning to believe Lilith's story.
Ah, you're right. I have to guard against that, and at least until we have proof that she's telling the truth.
Why are you three over there whispering? You should come and join the conversation I'm having with Jessica. You're right, Duncan. She's fascinating.
Aye, she is. And what were you two talking about?
My staying here in Oakdale for a while, among other things.
Oh, absolutely. Teresa has prepared your room.
That's very thoughtful, Duncan. But after a 12-year estrangement, I don't think I'm quite ready to, shall we say, pick up the threads of a marriage that might not work for either one of us now.
Well, I wasn't suggesting that you share my room, but being here, having Teresa and Tobias around for security.
I'm finally free of Sylvestris prison. I have no desire to live in another one. Actually, Jessica was saying that I might think about getting a lawyer here after I've been here and surveyed my situation more carefully.
Oh, and why, in your opinion, might she need a lawyer?
Lilith has been very direct with me. She wants to move into the Lakeview Towers and take some time for the two of you to get to know each other again and see what, if anything, is left to salvage of your marriage. And if there's nothing, then she's agreed to a quiet, civilized divorce.
I hope this makes as much sense to you, Duncan, as it does to me.
You're here. Hey, so much wrong. Let's push again. What is wrong? You know it's wrong. It's unfair.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's just concentrate on getting our first one. Come on, come on. It's our first newcomer. Come on, here we go, here we go.
Harder again. God help me. It's not your baby, Tom. It's Al's baby. It's Al's. I'm sorry. Don't swear. Don't stop. You must push again. Don't stop. Harder, one more time, harder. Mama, sorry, I'm coming now.
Iva, what exactly did Ambrose's detectives say?
Well, they've located him in the IRS computer in New York, and they have his social security number, and by the information that Mama gave us, it matches his age. The information matches.
That's wonderful, Iva. That's wonderful.
Well, but don't get too excited because they can't find Carolyn Carpenter yet.
Well, you said she's a housewife, so she wouldn't be filing taxes, so she wouldn't be in the IRS computer.
Yeah, I know. That's what Ambrose said, that she would be hard to find.
Well, I'm still excited. I mean, this may be your real father, my grandfather.
I'm sorry, but this is just too creepy for me. Good night.
Great. That I'm fascinated by something that I've just heard tonight. My detectives, Ambrose took them off my work, excuse me, Iva, to look into your parenting. What's going on?
I didn't want to bother you with this while you were away, but I recommended them to Iva, and I told Ambrose to give the search top priority since they weren't working on anything for Walsh.
Well, who's picking up the tab? And they were working on something for Walsh, something for me that was private and important.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry to pull them off your investigation. Ambrose should have informed me.
Fortunately, no harm's done.
I'll get that.
I'm sorry that this all had to come out on my only night home.
Oh, that's okay. As soon as Iva comes down, I will devote my whole evening to you. How about a moonlight swim later?
That's the best thing I've heard all day.
Great.
And I want something done about those two before my daughter makes the worst mistake of her life.
I think we can use our friendship with Caleb to accomplish that. He owes us one very big favor, or maybe two.
All right. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ambrose. Well, they have his address, and the detectives will call Ambrose back as soon as they have his phone number, because it's unlisted.
So where do they live?
Southampton, Long Island, New York.
Southampton? They live in Southampton? Is it a summer, wealthy, exclusive community? Why would they open their arms to a broken-down farmer? Well, of course, they're potato fields, aren't there?
Jared Carpenter.
Hi, well, your idea sounds practical and civilized, Lilith, but I still think you should at least stay here tonight.
Now, Duncan, no matter what you may wish, I have no intention of returning to your bed until I've gotten to know you all over again. Remember that you were a dashing young man. We met on safari, married after a whirlwind courtship, and had our marriage torn apart so soon afterwards.
Well, I wasn't suggesting that we get back together yet. Just that here you've got Tobias and Teresa, whom you can rely on, who you know so well.
No, my dependence on Sylvestris' assistance is over. I'm perfectly capable of getting along on my own. But thank you for being so thoughtful. I think we should go, don't you, if you're going to help me check into the hotel?
Lilith, let me come along with you. Make sure you get the best accommodations, and I'll be sure that it's all put on my bill, of course.
Duncan, don't be so protective. I can look after myself. We'll talk in the morning and decide best how to proceed to get to know each other again. And don't worry about our safety on the way to the docks. There are so many guards there, I'm sure everything will be all right. Oh, I meant to ask you. Are those guards there to keep your people in and safe? Or to keep me out? We'll talk about it soon.
I simply can't risk Jessica being alone with her all the way to the dock in the dark. I've got to follow her.
No, Duncan. If Lilith suspects her, you don't trust her, it may trigger the kind of mayhem that you fear most. Jessica's way is the best of two bad choices.
Hal. It's the door.
Yeah, I remember.
Son. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns. This is CBS.